Yes. People, sorry I'm late. I'm back. I'm just running a bit late. But you know what? This season, what I'm going to do most of all is be consistent. Do you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not here to be a YouTuber, it's a platform for me to give my opinion and bring all the stuff that I bring to you guys in the future. But I'm doing a lot of stuff in the background. Just came out of a meeting with players and it's been on the phone for a while. So things get a bit techie around here, but let's just dive straight in, guys. What you guys saying? How you guys been? Let us know. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are going to delve in, recap on everything that we've had over the course of the weekend. It's been a mad one. Guys, join in. Don't forget, it's your boy LP Code. Don't forget to follow us on all social medias. Links there below. Let's dive straight into it, guys. Boom. Yes, we're back, man. It's been a mad weekend. Yes, the Premier League is back into the juicy type of things. And it's been a bit interesting one. I'll say the league's starting to shape up a bit. Couple of teams are starting to show what they're really about, and couple of teams starting to show what they're really not about. Liverpool. So yeah, man, we'll dive straight into it. So big first game of the weekend. Game that I didn't manage to watch because I was actually went to go drop my friend to go pick up a car, but he actually told me it was in Chelmsford, and by the time I went to go pick him up, he told me it was in Colchester, and we end up going to Colchester back. I'm from East London, so it's a bit of a drive. And by the time we left, didn't manage to get back to the game in time. But move on. I did listen to it on the radio, and I did watch back on the highlights and analyze the game as best as I can. And for me, I'll be honest with you, a lot of guys, some of you that watch the show, and some of you that know me in person would know that. I'm not really an Arsenal guy. I'm not really an Arsenal guy. I'm not. I despise Arsenal, innit? I like me growing up being a Man United fan from London. It's just been the natural rivalry that I've had with Arsenal fans. But you know what? I've had to admit, man. Like I've been telling my boys and that um in the chat that you know what? I just had to admit it, bro. Like Arsenal are here, man. They're here for the takings, and I won't say like they're here in terms of like titles because we all know the title's going to go to Man City this season. But to put it on a perspective, Arsenal have improved. They have got better. Arteta is playing good football, and you know what? Like I'm not going to sit there and dumb down on it anymore. My biggest argument for them this season was who have you beaten, and they got a win against Spurs, which I thought was a decent result for them to go out and get. In regards to the fact that it's a derby game and it's something that they expect to win, and also they had a good record at home against Tottenham in regards to that fixture. But they beat Liverpool. They beat Liverpool in what was a very, 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 very good game, tight game like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, Man United beat Liverpool. And I took that with a whole lot of credence. So I can't deny Arsenal's way moving forward, and they've gone and got themselves a victory. And for me, they've stated their claim. They're stating their claim for a team that's improving, title contenders that may be a bit of a push, considering the fact that we know how City are. But hey, in terms of see with me, we know City's got a phenomenal first team, but for me as well, it's about the squad that they've got, and that's one of the major things that I feel that is going to be to Arsenal's detriment this season is their squad. But going back to the game in general on Arsenal, like for me, they done well. They took the lead very early on within 5 minutes. Something so Arsenal seem to be doing quite regularly. I think it's not the first time. I think they scored quite early in another game earlier this season. I'm not quite sure who it was, but I'm sure they did. But that win pushed them on. Liverpool got back into the game, but Arsenal managed to get a goal just before half time and go in leading. And then Arsenal came out, Liverpool came out fighting, got back on level terms, and then your boy Saka killed the game. And talking about your boy Saka, for me, I feel that he's one of the shining lights when it comes to the Arsenal team in regards to what he's been doing, and he has been stepping up. He's been stepping up this season in regards to um, his responsibilities. He done well in the North London derby. Some say that he had a shaky start to the season. I wouldn't say shaky, but not to the standard that people expected. Maybe that's because he had a very good season last season, and he also done well for England in the Euros, despite him missing that penalty. But for me, the fact that he has now got, I think it is 3 goals and 4 assists, if I'm not mistaken. 3 goals and 4 assists so far this season. I'm just quickly just trying to get his stats up here. But for me, yeah, he's done really well. He's been one of the shining lights for the Arsenal team this season. He put in performance against Liverpool, ended up ultimately coming out with the winner. And everyone said there's been a debate. Some say it might not be a debate between and him and the likes of Sancho. But as it started off that Sancho was winning that race, it now looks like Saka is leading that race. And it's going to be a very, very interesting race in regards to moving forward. So, like, in regards to Saka and what he's been doing at his club, I'll just quickly pop it up here for you now. So, as you can see, that's 43 touches. This is in the game against Liverpool. He had 43 touches, 15 passes in the final third passes, 10 touches in the box, 4 shots, 4 duels won, 3 passes in the box, 3 shots on target, 2 crosses, 2 fouls won, and 2 goals, the most important stat. And they say Saka was simply unstoppable. And to be fair, these boys are now starting to perform in the big games. And there was another player that I thought performed really well for Arsenal, and I think that has been a key component in them moving forward. And it was your man of the match. It was your man of the match. Despite Saka getting the 2 goals, Martinelli was able to go on and get the man of the match performance. And I thought that with a player of these young players and the ilk of what they've done, last season they had a really good season. Some say it was the experience that never really quite got them over the line. But as you can see, Arsenal have recruited with a little bit of experience in regards to the likes of Jesus and Zinchenko, with players that have experience of playing in high-profile games, been in a high-profile team like Man City. So for me, it looks like Arsenal are going on to do really well in that regard. So they're 2 players that I felt have done really well over the course of the season in regards to Arsenal's progress moving up the season. Ultimately, Arteta, he's performing well. He's doing well as the manager. Some question him in regards to his into regards to his tactics and his management. Coming to question over in the United game, some have asked, maybe is his team too young? Is his team too bare? Are some of the acquisitions going to fit in? But I think so far so good for Arteta. He's been asking them questions. Despite the defeat against Manchester United, they performed well on all cylinders. They got a big test coming up against Man City, and some would say that Man City are the favourites to go and run away with this league. But if Arsenal want to have any chance of winning the league, I do feel they have to get a result against Man City. I don't think it necessarily has to be a victory, even though a victory will be very good. But I feel if they go out there and get a draw against Man City, then who knows? Like, tables can turn. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What's going on with Liverpool, man? Trent Alexander Dudu. Like, see me, I don't even like to get onto players. I'm just here doing it for the whole concept of what is going on in regards to Liverpool and their form. It is absolutely diabolical. Like, what is going on with Liverpool? Can someone tell me? We're hearing this nonsense about this Klopp 7-year glitch, and this is the type of things that happen. I don't believe that rubbish in regards to that aspect of side of things. But what is going on with Liverpool? They got an aging squad. I read something interesting in regards to the stats of that game. I think the average age of Arsenal squad was 22 or 23, something like that. And the average age of the Liverpool squad was 27. And there's a key thing I see a pundit say in regards to the age thing. Because when you analyze it like that, it can be, you can look, one thing about stats, you can look at them quite simplistically, but when you dive into it, and one pundit said specifically, it's a matter of the ages on written the team. Because when you think about it, 27 as a footballer, that's you should be fine, you should be raring to go, you should be pumped, you should be ready to move forward. But I feel what the problem is with Liverpool, they've got certain players that's aging in certain areas of the pitch, i.e., in midfield, which is letting them down tremendously. And I feel like I don't want to mention Henderson, obviously, incident going on in regards to what he's done moving forward. We can't really talk about that. It's a live gone investigation with the FA, so we don't want to dive into that subject too deep. But for guys that you don't know, obviously Hendon was reported to FA for saying an offensive gesture, word, or whatever it may be to Gabriel and the Arsenal team, and that has been reported to the FA, and that's going to be dealt with. And when the correct processes and the correct information is out, then we can report on it, because it can be dangerous to report on situations which you don't know. But in regards to the fact when you're talking about Henderson and the age of the squad, you can clearly see that midfield was struggling yesterday. Henderson really struggled yesterday. Milner has been really struggling in recent weeks and struggled yesterday. And I feel like with Liverpool, that is where the problem's coming in. I thought in today's modern game, in the way that they want to press, because Liverpool is a team, they will press the life out of you. You tackle, you win the ball off them. 5 seconds later, they've got the ball back. And that's how Liverpool played. That's what they built on, and that's what got them their success. But as you can see, this season, it is really not working for them. And the likes of Trent Alexander is not able to play the way that he wants to play. They just given Mo Salah a new £400,000 a week contract. He's not performing at the level that he wants to perform. Some saying that they shouldn't have sold it. Mane should be one that they gave the contract to. But it's really interesting in what's going on with Liverpool. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. But for me, Liverpool are in the mud. And you know what? I'm happy as a Manchester United fan. I'm over the moon. But you know what I'm saying? We've got to keep it genuine here, man. And I feel like I had a lot of hope for Liverpool, and I thought that this game against Arsenal would have been a good chance for them to move on and push on. But for me, man, they're in the mud, and I don't really know what they can do moving forward, because it's looking like a real dive straight for them. And if they don't fix up real soon, I don't see Liverpool even getting to the top four. I thought if Liverpool don't get into the top four this season, boy, oh boy, oh boy, that is gonna be I can't even say where he wants to be, because they even got their manager saying they're not in the title race so far. So it's interesting to see what we'll see moving forward for Liverpool. But wait, if they do not pick up their results soon, it's gonna be a strange one for them, man. It's gonna be an interesting one, I should say. Strange in their performance, but it'll be interesting in the outcome coming out of it. So yeah, moving on from that. Say Chelsea had a good game against Chelsea had a good game. I spoke about the Sunday game as Arsenal game, as it was the first game, but it's actually probably was the biggest game of the weekend. But going back to it, Chelsea had a good win against Wolves, 3-0 win against Wolves. 4 unbeaten now, I think it is, for Graham Potter. 2-3-0 wins on the bounce. We had Havertz on the score sheet, Pulisic on the score sheet, and Broja. And I thought it was an interesting one for Chelsea. It looks like they're back, switcher system, switcher style of play, and it really seems to be suiting them. You've seen that he's also changed the keeper personnel. Some would say that it was because Mendy was injured and he got his place in, but I think now you can see that Kepa has cemented that place, and Chelsea actually brought Kepa in because of his good ball attributes and his goals, his shot stopping, what was letting him down in the league, which ultimately made them have to go and buy Mendy and then replace him. But he's been working hard in the background. He did come with a big price tag, so it was going to be very hard for them to get rid of him. He looks seem to be working hard, change of manager, new impetus, everyone gets a fresh chance, and it looks like he cemented the bag. So that's really worked well for them pushing forward, and they're getting the Kepa that I thought that they originally wanted, but now they're getting him. And I feel like the attacking play, like I said at the start, is really, really starting to work well for Chelsea. And you can see with the likes of Pulisic starting, Broja coming on, you can see there is a new impetus, as I was saying, as to players getting a chance. And that can really be that can really be a big boost to a club and to players when a new manager comes in and every player feels that yes they can get the opportunity to come on and get minutes. That's always going to get every player working, every player on the same level, and every player fighting for a position instead of when you tend to get into a period of management when you've been at a club for a long time is when you built a set squad and you might have players that have been trusted over you for a couple of years, and then you got that difficulty of trying to juggle and manage the happiness between that players. And that's something that Graham Potter will maybe have to deal with later on down the line as his Chelsea career develops. But good win for Graham Potter, 4 unbeaten, as I said, for Chelsea. Very good performance from them, and I feel that the main interesting point, like I was saying with Chelsea, was the style of play and the way they changed their play. I know under Tuchel they was very rigid and they had a lot of success winning the Champions League, but it's something that they couldn't really sustain over time. And I thought that this attacking play is really starting to benefit Chelsea. You even see the likes of Conor Gallagher getting more minutes and producing very well. Done well, got the winner against his former club Crystal Palace last week. Had a very good performance against Wolves as well. So it seems that this attacking formation is working well for Chelsea. It looks like Chelsea are back on the heels, and it's going to be very interesting if they can keep this performance. Leading up to the World Cup and then going into the January transfer window, can Graham Potter get a couple of players of his own in and really start to sprinkle his way on Chelsea? Another big result over the weekend in regards to the big boys. Man City doing what they do, 4-0 win against 4-0 win against Southampton. Goals from, and it's the thing about Man City. Everyone talks about Haaland. Yes, he is a crazy phenomenon. This guy is automatic. But you know what? I've seen some crazy stats about coming out as well. Because people have been talking about Haaland as this crazy phenomenon guy. Like he's probably the most elite player ever to exist in none of these guys. There's a couple other stats out there to prove to you guys that he's still got a way to go to actually reach the top of the greatest, especially your boy Cristiano Ronaldo. They was talking about his trajectory, that if Haaland wants to beat Cristiano Ronaldo's record, he has to score on average for the next 16 season 43 goals a season. Yeah, let's just understand that, because sometimes I feel like, especially over the recent years, we're starting to get colluded with the hype of players coming in and the decline of our greatest players. But 43 goals a season for the next 16 years, let that sink in regards to Haaland and what he needs to do. But yeah, moving back on, goals from Cancelo, Foden, Mahrez, and then Haaland. Point being that Man City, my point, what I was saying to a lot of people, Haaland is doing very well because he's in a great team, and this great team is proving that they can score goals, score plenty of goals, and Haaland is not the only goal scorer. So good result for Man City. Completely dominant in the game. A bit of a concern for Southampton in regards to that regard. Now languishing in the bottom three. No, tell a lie, not languishing in the bottom three. They are sitting just above the bottom three, 1 point clear. But Hassan, has got a big job in his hands. He hasn't got a lot of the players that he had last season in regards to loan acquisitions that he got. He's dealing with a younger squad. And I feel like every season, he's having a bit of a squad change, a rebuild. And I think that can only work so much when you're at a club like Southampton. I think you need to have some stability in the players that you've got. He has these mainstays, as in Ward-Prowse, Charlie Evans, who's not really that Ched Evans, who's not really that clinical. So we'll see how they move on there. Another big boy victory over the weekend is your boys Newcastle. Anniversary of their 1 year in the Premier League. Not in the Premier League. Their 1 year ownership of their new owners, the Dubai owners. And yeah, they got off with a bang. 5-1 win against Inform and Brentford. 2 goals from your boy Bruno Guimaraes. Ready rumours talking that he's going to leave in January. I don't think that's happening anytime soon with the money that they got and the project that Newcastle are looking to move forward. Goal from Jacob Murphy, goals from Miguel Almiron and Ethan Peckett on goal from Brentford. Ivan Toney with this consolation penalty for Brentford. So two players I want to talk about that's been really instrumental for Newcastle moving forward on their trajectory. One of which is Bruno Guimaraes, the player that I just spoke about. 2 goals for City, firing this season. I think he's already got 4 goals in the league so far and has really hit off in the league going forward. And you can see that clubs are really interested in moving for him. And for me, he's been the key player. They've had players like Joel Linton who stepped in and stepped up, and players of the sort. But I think Bruno has been the mainstay. He's come into the team. He's really taken Newcastle to that next level. He's given them that personality, that character, something that I think Newcastle have lacked for a very long time from the teams that was in the 90s that was going up against Sir Alex Ferguson. I think they've changed. I think they've got that personality back with the type of players that they got in with lots of Joel Linton, like I just mentioned, Wilson, Gamarish now, Trippier. I think they've added a lot of character, a lot of skill into that Newcastle team. And they're going on and doing wonders, man. Another player that I thought that is doing really well in that in that Newcastle team is Almiron, a player that they signed. I think they signed him under Alan Pardew, if I'm not correct. They signed him for a club record fee at the time, and he was supposed to go on and be another one of them great talents that you thought that they're going to be. But he really now underneath, I think he's got 4 goals as well, and going on to this season. I think that he's been a really mainstay for Newcastle, pushing on for their good start to the season. And Almiron has been a surprising package, and that left foot is really good left foot, and he has been a good reason why they've been doing really well. So big them up on their result, and tell us what you think about their new ownership 1 year. Now that the owner's been involved, and they haven't just gone out and splashed the cash. I know there's been a lot of rumors of they're going to sign this player, that player, they're going to spend 100 mil, 60 mil, and all these guys, and everyone thought that they was going to spend lots of money because they had the acquisition to spend a lot of money due to the state that Mike actually left them, which is actually in a good state in regards to what they can spend in the transfer market. But Eddie Howe has been smart, he's been diligent, he's been buying the right players in the right positions, and actually taking this Newcastle on a journey and not just pushing all that money in, as maybe some would say the likes of Man City done, Chelsea done, to really just supercharge up to the top. I think they're taking their time. They're really pushing on because, like, a lot of clubs in the Premier League got money. So I think they've kind of analysed that, and they don't want to put themselves in a position where if they start offering what they want to achieve without actually achieving it, they may never ever achieve what they want to achieve, if that actually makes sense. So a good year for Newcastle and their new ownership and a new regime going forward. Another big result was for Spurs against Brentford, 1-0 win. Harry Kane, and not really much to say about that game. Conte doing Conte stuff. To be fair, jammy little win, solid at the back, 1 little goal, and just keep things moving. I think I spoke about this last week in regards to saying Conte is, I wouldn't say finished, but I think his style of football may struggle in the league that we are in now. I think the way the modern day has developed, and I think a lot of the modernization has come from, say, leagues like La Liga and the Premier League in terms of the style of football and in terms of the quality of the teams that we'll say is getting to lesser stages of the Champions League and winning the Champions League. I think Conte's style of football will struggle. We know that he doesn't really have a good success rate in the Champions League, and that could be a pinpoint as to why his team may not be hitting the highest of heights in regards to winning the league titles and challenging for domestic trophies, is because simply that his type of football is not conducive to the modern day way of playing. Yes, he's still going to get results. Yes, he's still going to do what he needs to do. But for me, I feel that Conte will struggle in regards to elite ends of things, and I feel that the way that he wants to play football can be more figured out. And I think over time, if players do start to get bored of it, teams do start to work you out, and when you do go on a run of maybe 2 or 3 defeats in a row, it can be a bit demoralizing for the players. And they haven't got the best of best squads, Tottenham. So it's going to be an interesting result, interesting time moving forward. Been saying that Brighton have been playing well this season. They've been getting really good results against top level clubs. And Spurs have managed to go away there to the Eagles and get themselves the 3 points. And that's what Spurs will do, innit? They'll get you them ugly 3 points over the course of the season. Spurs will top their points behind the background. No one won't really speak to them in regards to their league football. And normally that will be a winner for Conte. But for me personally, the way the league's going, the way modern football is nowadays, I feel like Conte is going to struggle in regards to winning the top ends of the league. So yeah, that's my opinion on Spurs moving so far. And yeah, the weekend games I want to talk about Miles something, because I haven't really dove into that one there too much. But Man United, 2-1 win against Everton. I thought personally it should have been 3-1, but Casemiro. Like a lot of people, like I was going to talk about your boy Anthony. Now I was going to talk about your boy Anthony, but I had to delve into the Casemiro thing because there have been a lot of people talking about him, doubting Casemiro's like doubting Casemiro. Like even I'm just struggling to get the words out because like, are you mad? Like, how can you talk about the boy Cassie? Like the boy Casemiro has won 5 Champions Leagues, been I don't know how 3-4 La Liga titles, was the man of the match in the Champions League final just gone, and people was doubting him. Like it was coming into a new league, coming into a new setup, coming into a new team, new style of play. Like you had to give the guy time. And at the end of the day, people might say, "Oh, I should have just started instead of bedding his way in, and he should have maybe made the mistakes." But at the end of the day, as you can see, Ten Hag is very protective of his players. He's very protective of them when they're injured. He's very protective of them when they're out of form. In regards to not as protective as Oli in the same, I feel that he's protective in a disciplinary way. And now I don't mean that in a bad way. I think I maybe used the wrong word, but I mean in terms of he's very disciplined in the way that he wants his players to be, approach the game, and he understands. He's very, one of the key things I like about Ten Hag. He's very good tactician. But back to the game and Casemiro, that he's come and he's shown his worth in that game. He got man of the match, and for me, he was doing. I watched the game, yeah, and there was a lot of stuff that Casemiro does that people don't understand about football. Casemiro's not going to score you 40 yarders outside of the box. He's not going to do you a flick and a trick and over the head. But shall I tell you what he is going to do? He's going to smash in every tackle. He's going to ping that ball into the striker, and he's going to get you out of dangerous situations. And that is what I saw from Casemiro yesterday against Everton. And that's what I loved about him. And that's what got the man of match. And that's what Manchester United needed. And that's one stat that I saw on here. Casemiro got 55 pop. Let me get up here for you, because I don't want us to be talking all this stuff and then guys just think I'm just air talking nonsense. Yeah, that's one thing I'm not. This one thing I wanted to change when I come on this show. Like, not really about just talking stuff. You get me, man? Just gotta get the stats air and just show you air. So air is it now? Skududun. Yeah. With the one to don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget to comment, like the thing, guys. Keep pushing the page. I'm here for the stay. I know things have been kind of low, but I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna have some fresh content. I'm gonna do it all up. But cost of living, all this nonsense. It's a struggle, but we're out trying to make the best for everything, man. So big up everyone. Love all the support, people sharing the team. Really appreciate you guys. So yeah, man. We was talking about your boy Kessie. An interesting stat here when I want to show you guys here, yeah, is what a lot of people don't see and they won't notice, yeah. So as you can see, his passing stats. He made 55 passes in that game, and the passes where is completed. They're not gonna say, "Oh, just because he hit the ball." These passes actually got to a player. And as you can see, McTominay, who started against City, who some would say, "Oh, if Casemiro is this good, why didn't he start against City?" You guys Ten Hag that question. Me personally, I thought he should have started that game. But look, McTominay in the past 3 games, 23 passes against City, which we lost 6-3. 26 passes in a game which we actually won against Arsenal 2-1. And then 33 passes in a game, again, which we won against Leicester, which Casemiro did come on in to the latter of them, both of them games. But the point in which I'm making is that Casemiro is a baller. Like, that little one stat there will just show you the little things and what I mean in regards to what people don't understand in what he does in the game. Casemiro will get you out them tight spaces. There was one thing that I saw when he was on the corner flag, got the ball in the tight space, and he just done that little curlers out of them ones into the midfield, and we just had so much space to move. And I was like, yes, these are the type of things that allowed us to have that domination in midfield, to have that control of the game, and this is what Casemiro is going to bring to Manchester United. So I'm happy, I'm gassed, and I thought that with Varane coming on later on in the game, um, later on in the game, because I thought that was our best team that we got out there, bar Varane. But him coming on now, showing that he's fit and ready to go, I'm positive, I'm gassed about moving forward. And it was interesting to see that Sancho didn't come on at all. And this is what I mean about a disciplinarian manager. You started off well. You haven't been playing well. You get benched. You don't just start. You don't just come on because you're 75 mil. You don't just think you're going to play for Manchester United. And if you're not going to run back and track like what he did against Osasuna for that goal, you're not going to start. You're not going to come on. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, or where you are. You do what I say. And that's what I love about Erik ten Hag. He's bringing that still. He's bringing that charisma, not only to his players, because I'm not going to doubt that. I'm sure the likes of Louis van Gaal, Mourinho was doing the same. But it's the control that he also has of the whole football club in regards to staffing, in regards to his relationship with the balls, as we can see so far. So that was a really, really big win for Manchester United. Some will say their best performance of the season so far. And the table's starting to shape up after that result. Man United's got a game in hand, 1 point behind Chelsea. And I think we are 9 points off Arsenal at first. And I said right now, we're still in the title race. 9 points of Arsenal with a game in hand. Arsenal still in the Man United are still in the title race. We might not be playing as consistently well as Arsenal are, but it's the league, boy, baby. It's the league. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see. Who knows? So yeah, man, we quickly run through the last couple of results before I quickly wrap it up in there. You know, I swear I was a bit late. I was supposed to get all the brothers on, and like they had all stuff to do, and my problem. Sorry about that. But we'll get the guys on, man. The guys will be here. We'll see the guys. We're gonna do pro clubs, all the mad things. So yeah, bear with us. But yeah, good result for West Ham, 3-1 against Fulham. Yeah, a bit of controversy there because, like I was even before you even move on to that, Rashford got bumps. Yeah, they bumped my boy Rashford. Should have got that goal. And moving on to that VAR nonsense, I'm not even gonna delve into that rubbish. But look what happened with the Antonio goal. West Ham given, Marcus Rashford one not given. Like the consistency in regards to the VAR is absolutely doo-doo. Yeah, I don't want to get used to swearing on YouTube. It's not really my type of thing, but it's absolutely doo-doo. And I thought they need to improve it. They need to improve it. Something needs to go on there. But a good 3-0 win for West Ham. Bowen, Samaka, Antonio with the goals. And for me, one of the key players for West Ham, one of the players that I've been really impressed by him moving forward is Samaka. When they got him in, there was rumors that he was going to go PSG. For me, I'm one of them skeptical football analysts in regards to when I in the transfer window, when I see a player that's rumored to go to a big club and then ends up going to a much lesser club than the club that he was originally supposedly meant to go to, I always have big reservations as to why didn't that big club go for him. It's just something that we don't know about. And at the start of the season, it did look a bit shaky, but now he's looking like the real deal, boy. He's starting to prove himself, and he carries on this form. Samaka won't be at West Ham for long. Sorry to say that, West Ham fans, but West Ham are doing their thing. Shaky start to the start of the season. Everyone was, I wouldn't say they was calling from West Head. I think that his performances over the course of last season had put him with some credit in the bank, considering West Ham hasn't been that far in the European competition and they still did decent in the league. So I think that gave him credit in the bank. That gave him enough time to turn things over in regards to, because I think what a lot of pressure happens to the manager, and especially the modern day football, is it might start off with the media, but if it creeps into the fans, it's going to be very hard for the owners. But I feel like the media might throw it out there, but if the fans don't cling on to it, that always gives that manager the extra couple of weeks, the extra month or so. So I think that's what's happened to Moyes. He's got that bit of leeway. He's got the team backfiring. He's got the team back scoring. And I think all the start of the season conundrum has slightly got away. The players are scoring. West Ham's back on form, and good result for Crystal Palace. 2-1 win against Leeds. Leeds had a good start to the season. Leeds playing really well. I'm really liking their football. I'm really liking their acquisitions of their American boys that they've got in. I'm a big fan of your boy Adams, Taylor Adams. I really like him. I think he's a really good player, and he's coming to the league. And the other young boy, Brendan Anderson, really good player. I'm enjoying watching him, and I'm enjoying what Jody Marsh, especially all the critics of all that American nonsense, jada. He's put that to bed one time. He's competing. He's up there. He's doing what he needs to do in the league, and it's really good, man. One thing I do like is when something new, something fresh comes to the Premier League and it works. You know what I'm saying? Because it just debunks all the same old narratives. It just puts certain journalists on their bum, and I like things like that because at the end of the day, we live in a world where in a society where everything's developing, everything's changing, and it's important that people live with an open mind. Do you know what I'm saying? With new ideas, with new thoughts, and with new ways of doing things. Because there is a way, and no way is better than another way. Some ways may have a proven success rate or trajectory, but there's always room for improvement. There's always room to do things better. And I think that Jody Marsh and Leeds have something going there. So if they can push on with that result and really do what they need to do, then who knows what they could do this season. So yeah, man, that's it for this weekend's roundup of fixtures. Arsenal on top of the table, looking like they're real contenders for the Premier League this season. Manchester United with their best performance of the season against Everton. Big wins, big defeats for Liverpool, struggling in the league right now. Klopp saying that out of the title race. What do you think, guys? Let us know of your roundup over the weekend. It's been a blast. It's good to have you guys back. And my people, I will have them on and I will get them on. I've just been We've got the content coming and keep sharing the support, keep sharing the love. And when the thing comes out there, you're going to forgive me. And I want you guys to say sorry, yeah? Because when I bring you what I got to bring you, you're going to understand what I've been doing. So thanks again, guys. It's been a pleasure. Same time again next week. I'll be here. No, not this exact same time. I'll probably be over Sunday, Monday. We will be on. Just check the notifications and don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Oh, yeah. Hit us up on Twitter as well. Right there, this Twitter one, this one here. Hit us up on there. I'm on there. I'm in the spaces. I'm actually more on there during the week, so you can get better analyzation of my opinions and my thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear your thoughts. So I'll catch you soon, guys. Have a good one.